Have you ever found yourself staring at a life you know you could have, maybe even should have created? You've dreamed of it, planned for it, and yet, every time you get close, something inside you pushes it away. You might think, this time will be different. This time, I'll finish what I start. I'll take that leap. But then, just as the opportunity to succeed comes into view, something shifts. You freeze, you procrastinate, you make excuses, you sabotage it again. You tell yourself it's just fear. But is it? What if there's something deeper at play? Something you've never fully confronted? What if the reason you're stuck isn't because of your failures, but because of the parts of yourself you refuse to acknowledge? This is where Carl Jung's idea of the shadow comes into play. The hidden parts of yourself, the aspects you push away, the parts you don't want to face. And this shadow, whether you're aware of it or not, is what's keeping you from moving forward. It's like a quiet force, working behind the scenes, manipulating your choices and sabotaging your progress. You tell yourself you want success, but you keep finding reasons not to pursue it. You see the opportunity, but something inside you holds you back. The irony is that your self-sabotage isn't a mistake. It's a pattern, driven by the parts of yourself that you have never truly embraced. Think about it. How many times have you pushed away relationships at the very moment they seem to have potential? How many times have you hesitated to take that next step, even when the path ahead was clear? How many goals have you abandoned, just as success was within your grasp? These aren't just bad habits or poor decisions. These are manifestations of your shadow. The parts of you that are fearful, doubtful, or ashamed, the parts that you'd rather not admit exist, are the ones that sabotage your progress. They hide in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to pull you back. And until you bring these shadows into the light, they'll keep controlling your life from the dark. But here's the thing, acknowledging your shadow doesn't mean giving into it. It means understanding it. It means seeing that the part of you that is scared of success, of change, of being seen for who you really are, is not some weakness you should hide from. It's part of your human experience, and confronting it is the key to breaking free from the cycle of self-sabotage. So, take a moment. What's holding you back? What part of yourself have you been avoiding? What truths about who you are, or who you could be, are hidden in the dark corners of your mind? Confronting these shadows is uncomfortable, yes, but until you do, they will continue to pull you under, quietly sabotaging your every step. The question now is, will you face them? Will you bring those hidden parts of yourself into the light so you can finally move forward? The power is in your hands. And once you see the shadow for what it truly is, it loses its hold over you. Have you ever been so close to a breakthrough, only to feel a sudden wave of doubt wash over you? That voice in your head, so quiet, yet so loud, starts whispering things like, "You're not good enough. Who do you think you are? You'll never be able to pull this off." It's as though the very moment you try to take a step forward, you're met with resistance from the one person you thought was on your side, yourself. This voice, the inner critic, might seem like just an annoying habit or a fleeting thought, but it's much more than that. It's a hidden enemy, lurking in the shadows of your mind, controlling your decisions and paralyzing your potential. Drawing from Jung's theory of the persona, this inner critic is a direct reflection of the image you've created for yourself to fit into the world. It's the face you show others, the perfect, polished version of who you think you're supposed to be. This image, this persona, is your mask. It's how you believe you should appear in the eyes of others. And as much as it can serve as a shield to protect you, it also sets up an internal battle, a war between who you are and who you think you should be. Every time you step outside the boundaries of that persona, every time you try to take a risk, every time you challenge what's expected of you, the inner critic attacks. It tells you that you're not enough, that you can't do it, that you'll be exposed for the fraud you secretly fear you are. This battle plays out in small, subtle ways. You might sit down to work on a new project, but instead of diving in, you freeze. You second-guess every decision, doubt every word you write. The inner critic, that relentless voice, keeps telling you that you're not perfect, that if you don't get it right, you'll fail. And so, you hold back. You delay. You procrastinate. You talk yourself out of pursuing your dreams because that voice keeps echoing. Not yet. Not until it's perfect. But here's the brutal truth. Every time you let that inner critic win, you're sabotaging your progress. You're giving in to the very force that's designed to keep you small, to keep you from stepping into your potential. The fear of being imperfect, of not meeting your own or others' expectations, holds you back in ways you don't even realize. This is the trap. The moment you let that inner voice control your actions, you lock yourself in a cage built from self-doubt and shame. The path forward is clear, but you can't walk it until you confront the critic that stands between you and your true potential. So, what if the real enemy isn't external? What if it's this voice inside, this critic that shapes your every decision, dictating what you can and cannot do? Can you challenge it? Can you look past the lies it tells and push forward, even if you're not perfect? The journey towards freedom starts when you stop listening to the voice that holds you back and start trusting the one that dares you to move forward, flaws and all. We often talk about fear of failure, the anxiety that comes with the possibility of not measuring up. But what if the real trap isn't failing? What if the thing you fear most isn't the moment when you fall short, but the one when you succeed? Take a moment to reflect. Have you ever found yourself at the edge of success, on the verge of achieving something you've worked for, something you've dreamed about, and felt a knot in your stomach? Not from fear of failure, but from something else entirely, something more subtle, a feeling that maybe, just maybe, success isn't the victory you imagined it to be. It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? Who wouldn't want to succeed, to reach their goals, to step into their full potential? But deep within the unconscious mind, success often stirs up a very different fear. What happens when I finally get everything I want? What will change in me, in my life? Here's the paradox. Success forces you to step outside of the life you've always known. Even if that life hasn't been perfect, it's been familiar, it's been comfortable. And when you succeed, you're no longer the person you were, you become someone new. Success, in a way, disrupts your very identity. It's not failure that scares you, it's transformation. Success brings with it a redefinition of who you are, how you relate to the world, and who you become in the process. And that's terrifying. The fear is not about what you'll gain, but who you'll have to be in order to hold on to it. What parts of you will have to die in order for this new version of you to emerge? Consider the hidden anxieties beneath the surface. Will your success alienate the people you care about? Will it make you unrecognizable to the people who've known you as less? There's a fear that success might demand too much from you, that you'll have to change in ways you're not ready for. It might even threaten the very relationships that have given you a sense of stability. People might look at you differently. You might feel differently about yourself. This isn't just a fear of losing something, it's a fear of gaining something that feels foreign and uncomfortable. The tension between where you are now and where success will take you can be overwhelming. Who will you become when you break through your own limitations? Who are you afraid to face on the other side of your own greatness? What if the true fear isn't about failing, but about outgrowing the version of yourself you've been living as? What parts of you have you hidden away in the name of comfort? And, if you succeed, what might those parts demand of you? The questions are uncomfortable, but they're essential to the journey. Can you step into your own greatness and still feel like yourself, or will success force you to face parts of yourself that have long remained hidden? Have you ever stared at a task, whether it's a project, a piece of writing, or even a relationship, and felt paralyzed by the need to make it perfect? You can't start until everything is in its exact place, until every detail is flawless. You've set the bar so high, so impossibly high, that even thinking about moving forward feels like a monumental task. In your mind, if it's not perfect, it's not worth doing at all. Perfectionism, in its most insidious form, whispers that only perfection is acceptable. It promises that once you achieve flawlessness, you'll be worthy of love, recognition, and success. But in reality, perfectionism is a silent killer. It kills progress. It kills growth. It kills the very thing that allows you to move forward. Action. Every time you try to start something new, perfectionism demands that you cross a threshold that doesn't exist. You want to begin, but the self-doubt creeps in. What if I fail? What if it's not good enough? So, you hesitate, delay, and eventually abandon the task altogether. This battle between wanting to be perfect and knowing deep down that you'll never measure up creates a vicious cycle. You never feel good enough, and because of that, you never actually finish anything. You stay stuck in this perpetual loop of planning but never executing, of dreaming but never achieving. Here's the psychological tension at the heart of perfectionism. It's not a strength, but a fear of judgment, a fear of failure, a fear of not being enough. You constantly tell yourself that if you just do this one thing perfectly, if you just get it right this time, everything will change. But the truth is that perfection is an illusion. It's a moving target, one that you will never hit. No matter how much you strive, perfection will always be just out of reach, and each failure to attain it will only reinforce your feelings of inadequacy. And that's where the danger lies. Perfectionism keeps you from moving forward. It keeps you in the planning phase, forever stuck in your own head, perfecting the idea before you even give it a chance to exist in the world. Every moment spent trying to make something flawless is a moment lost to progress. You may spend years refining a project, obsessing over every detail, but if you never release it, if you never let it go, you will have nothing to show for it. And when you do finally take that step, it's not perfect anyway. It never will be. So, what are you really afraid of? That your creation won't be good enough? That others will judge you harshly? Or is it that you are afraid of stepping into the unknown, of letting go of the tight grip you have on control, and accepting that good enough is often the only thing you need to move forward? What would happen if you stopped trying to make everything perfect? What if you let go of the illusion of flawlessness and allowed yourself to move forward even if what you're offering isn't perfect? You'll never reach your full potential if you're stuck chasing an ideal that doesn't exist. The real work lies in letting go, embracing the messiness of the process, and allowing yourself to fail forward. Perfectionism has kept you stuck, but now it's time to break free. Have you ever stopped to wonder why, when everything seems to be going well, you still find ways to undermine it? You reach the brink of success, yet something deep within you whispers that you don't deserve it. So, you back off. You hesitate. You find a reason, any reason, to pull away from what you've worked so hard to achieve. It's almost as if you're sabotaging your own happiness. But why? This chapter is about a truth that's hard to face. The way you see yourself is the very thing that keeps you from moving forward. Self-worth is not just a concept. It's the foundation of every choice you make, every opportunity you take or refuse. If, deep down, you don't believe you're worthy of success, happiness, or fulfillment, you'll unconsciously sabotage yourself at every turn. It's not about external forces or bad luck. It's about your internal dialogue. It's about the belief that you don't deserve the good things coming your way. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you told yourself that you're not enough? Maybe you've said it outright. I'm not good enough to be successful. Or perhaps it's more subtle. I don't really deserve love or happiness. These beliefs don't just exist in the background of your mind. They guide your actions, dictate your responses, and ultimately shape your reality. When you feel unworthy, you'll unknowingly create circumstances that prevent you from receiving what you truly deserve. This is where the connection between self-worth and self-sabotage becomes clear. It's not just about being afraid of failure. It's deeper than that. It's about the quiet, insidious belief that you aren't deserving of success. You might tell yourself that you're afraid of failure, but the reality is that you're more afraid of success. Because success challenges the very identity you've constructed for yourself, one that is defined by limitations, by scarcity, by not being good enough. The tension here is undeniable. You want more for your life, but there's a part of you that holds you back. It's as if you're saying, I'm not allowed to have everything I want. I don't deserve it. This belief is so ingrained, so unconscious, that you don't even realize it's guiding your actions. It sabotages your progress by making sure you always fall short of your potential. But here's the brutal confrontation. If you don't believe you're worthy, you won't let yourself succeed. You'll subconsciously self-sabotage because it's easier to stay stuck in what's familiar than to face the unknown of success. It's easier to remain in the comfort of your own limitations than to confront the terrifying thought of stepping into your greatness. So, how much of your self-sabotage is rooted in this deeply held belief? How much of it is based on the idea that you don't deserve success, happiness, or the life you truly want? It's time to confront this question, because only when you understand the connection between your self-worth and your actions will you be able to break free from the cycle of self-doubt and sabotage. The truth is, the only thing standing between you and the success you desire is the belief that you're not worthy of it. But once you shift that belief, everything changes. It's time to challenge the lie that has kept you stuck and to finally allow yourself to step into the life you deserve. Have you ever felt like your life is on the verge of falling apart if you just let go for a moment? The thought of surrendering control, of allowing things to unfold without your meticulous planning, can feel terrifying. It's as though your grip on control is the only thing holding everything together. If you loosen your hold, if you allow yourself to trust in the process of life, it could all slip through your fingers. But what if that very need for control is the thing that's keeping you trapped? The desire for control often stems from a deep fear of uncertainty. If you can control every variable, every outcome, then nothing can surprise you. Nothing can hurt you. You can protect yourself from the chaos of the unknown. So, you grasp tighter on your relationships, your career, your image, your life plans, believing that holding on to control is the only way to survive. The problem is, this need for control doesn't just prevent life from surprising you, it prevents you from growing. Think about the areas of your life where you insist on control. Maybe it's at work, where you feel the need to oversee every tiny detail to ensure nothing goes wrong. Or in your relationships, where you try to manage expectations and prevent anything from spiraling out of line. Or even in your personal growth, where you strive for perfection, afraid to take any step unless you're sure it will lead to exactly what you want. In these places, the more you try to control, the more you actually limit your freedom. The psychological paradox is this: control, which feels like a safety net, is the very thing that's keeping you from truly living. Every time you try to predict, to dictate, to perfect, you shut out the possibility of real growth. By fearing the uncertainty of life, you limit your potential. You stay stuck in a cycle where everything must be managed, manipulated, and measured. But by doing so, you miss the magic of what's beyond your control. The unexpected, the unplanned, the unknown. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean abandoning your dreams or your responsibility. It means trusting the process of life, stepping into the flow of uncertainty, and allowing yourself to grow in ways you never expected. When you release your death grip on control, you free yourself to experience life as it is: messy, unpredictable, and infinitely more expansive than any perfectly controlled plan could ever be. The real tension here is the realization that your need for control is both your prison and your key to freedom. It's the thing that keeps you stagnant, trapped in cycles of self-sabotage. Yet it's also the very thing you need to let go of to move forward. It's a tightrope, isn't it? But the first step toward breaking free is acknowledging that control is not your safety, it's your limitation. What would it look like if you stopped fighting so hard for control? What would happen if you allowed yourself to surrender to the unknown, trusting that life will unfold exactly as it needs to? You might not have all the answers, but that's where the real growth begins. Have you ever felt like you were stuck in a loop, knowing exactly what you should do, but somehow never able to get out of your own way? You keep making the same mistakes, falling into the same patterns, even when you want to change. But what if the solution isn't to try harder or to push through the same struggles again and again? What if the answer is deeper within you, in the very forces that have been holding you back all along? This chapter marks a turning point in your journey. It's here that you realize that self-sabotage isn't something to simply be eliminated. It's not a fight to win, but a truth to understand, a part of yourself to integrate. Carl Jung believed that the only way to heal and grow was to face the darker parts of yourself, the parts you've been avoiding: the shadow, the inner critic, the self-doubt. and bring them into your consciousness. Only when you confront and embrace these aspects of yourself can you finally break free from the cycles of sabotage. Think about it. All the forces that have been pulling you back, the fears, the insecurities, the perfectionism, the need for control, are not your enemies. They are the signals, the clues, that something within you needs attention. These forces are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to guide you to greater self-awareness. But to unlock their power, you must stop fighting them. You must stop seeing them as obstacles and start understanding them as teachers. This doesn't mean you accept self-sabotage as your fate. Far from it. It means that instead of battling against yourself, you turn these forces into tools of personal growth. Your shadow, the hidden parts of you that you've rejected, can teach you about your true desires, your deepest fears, and your most authentic self. Your inner critic, while harsh and demanding, can show you where you need to grow in self-compassion and acceptance. The need for control, though it limits you, can be transformed into a force for trust, faith, and letting go. Now, this is where the real empowerment begins. You have the ability to step out of the cycle. It starts with taking ownership of your narrative, the story you've been telling yourself about who you are and what you can become. By embracing your imperfections, you stop trying to perfect yourself and instead begin to honor the messy, authentic journey of growth. The real power lies in accepting who you are right now, flaws and all, and choosing to move forward from that place. The call to action here is simple, yet profound. Break the cycle. Don't keep running from yourself. Stop sabotaging your success by avoiding the hard work of self-awareness. It's time to integrate your shadow, challenge your inner critic, and embrace imperfection. It's time to step into your own power, take control of your narrative, and master the art of living authentically. What would your life look like if you started seeing your struggles as opportunities to learn and grow? What if you could finally stop the self-sabotage, not by fighting against it, but by understanding and embracing the parts of yourself that have been holding you back? The next step is yours to take. It's time to break free from the destructive cycles of self-doubt and step into a new chapter of self-mastery. It's time, after confronting your shadows, silencing your inner critic, and breaking free from the chains of perfectionism and control, it's time for the final step. But this step is different. This isn't about conquering anything else. It's about letting go. Letting go of the need to control, of the obsessive need for validation, of the desire to shape every outcome. Have you ever felt that deep, underlying tension? The one that pulls at you when you think about truly stepping into your potential? That's the unknown. It's the vast, open space where you don't know what's coming next. It's the moment where you release your grip on the script of your life and let the journey unfold without needing to control every scene. It's scary, isn't it? It feels uncertain, vulnerable, but it's also where freedom lies. The truth is, the greatest obstacle isn't the failures you've encountered, nor is it the sabotage you've faced. The greatest sabotage is the fear of letting go, the fear of stepping into who you truly are, without the armor of perfection or the crutch of control. It's the fear of embracing the uncertainty of your own potential. This fear is what has held you back. You've clung to your strategies for survival, your attempts at control, your need for perfection, the protection of your ego, believing that they were what kept you safe. But in truth, they have only kept you small. Now, imagine what it would feel like to trust yourself fully. Imagine stepping into the unknown with open arms, trusting that whatever comes, you have the strength to face it. There's power in embracing uncertainty. It's in the unknown that growth happens. It's in the space where you don't have all the answers, where you aren't sure what's next, that you finally step into your true potential. This is the breakthrough, the moment when you stop fighting yourself, stop fearing the unknown, and start living in alignment with your truest self. The moment when you realize that self-sabotage is not something to be feared or eradicated. It's a signal, a guidepost pointing you toward deeper self-awareness and growth. It's a message that you are ready to step into the fullness of your life without the need for control, perfection, or external validation. So, ask yourself, what if the biggest barrier to my success, my happiness, my growth, isn't what I've been running from, but the fear of embracing who I truly am. What if the only thing standing in the way of your transformation is the belief that you must have it all figured out before you move forward? What would happen if you stopped waiting for the perfect moment and simply took that first step into the unknown? This is your final invitation. The journey of self-transformation isn't about having all the answers. It's about moving forward with courage, embracing the mystery of life, and trusting that you are enough just as you are. It's time to let go of the past, release the need for certainty, and step into the next chapter with clarity, freedom, and a deep sense of liberation. Now, go ahead. Embrace the unknown. Your future self is waiting for you.